This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. Going to go over the New York Open, letting you settle in today just a bit in terms of the action as we look at Tesla, NVDA, as we look, of course, at Bitcoin, which is up again. We'll review the details here on the New York Open just so that you have got them. Let's just go through a quick rundown, the levels in play. I brought this morning specifically in the back to the VIP. What was it on Tesla? Brought you the specific hourly 20 moving average. That 20 moving average has moved on Tesla at 1.8%. Congratulations. Nice hit. You also contacted on the hourly that specific capital control line, that RSI stochastic and MACD, which is showing bullish as of right now. We're showing bullish, confirmed by, but shrouded, I was just going to say, with a bit of action potentially to the downside. Just pay attention to your specific capital control line on that 4 hourly. It's loaded with orders long on Tesla. That much we can be assured of. Be prepared for volatility. Remember, this is a delayed stream. So in no way is this intended to be part of your immediate trade plan. It's not why we're streaming. We're talking about technicals. Let's go from Tesla on into Bitcoin. Now, in terms of Bitcoin, let's throw NVIDIA at things first as we look at. Let's resituate around the hourly real quickly as we look at the hourly and NVIDIA up over the 20 without that contact yet that we just saw on Tesla. So NVIDIA outperforming. We noted that in the pattern framework yesterday, right? In terms of the expression that we were looking at the volatility, as you understand that volatility dynamic. Yes, NVIDIA had pushed out, up, and over, whereas Tesla had not made that degree of a move yet. Great technical and fundamental discussion yesterday. If you didn't catch that specific stream, I recommend it for purposes of expanding your mindset as you look at the different parameters in play, as you look at the complications of the market, the correlations, the lack thereof, your specific asset of choice. I'm going to recommend that you just rewatch that specific stream from yesterday. This is London, guys, with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader, Harvard Business School, Duke University. Going to, let's rewind as we look at a potential pickup or a flip of the capital control line on NVIDIA. Okay, the bears are going to try and enforce this specific level. Bulls are waiting with some orders along that 24, some action. Absolutely, and we look like we have a bit of a crossover trying to pick up into that 20 moving average potentially for a short engagement, if at all. They're at that 20 moving average on the 3-minute time frame. 15-minute 20 moving average is in play. Bulls trying to push up and over after a 50% completion to the downside target on the band. And looking at the framework, if we were to just assess on the 6 hour, it looks like we have a bit of a broadening bottom formation. That's what we would like to put this into for NVIDIA. Typically a bullish structure that we're going to want to say, okay, bulls, you should be able to complete this inverse head and shoulders or this broadening bottom formation to the upside. Typically, what do we run into on the top side? We run into that 20 moving average. Be prepared for such. So back to Tesla in terms of that dynamic, do we have an equivalent? Let's just look at that 6 hourly again, a near flat top. Near flat top. If we're looking at a flat top, we need to see the bulls engage up along an increasing here level of support. Essentially, we've got that inverted diamond, don't we? Very close, that inverted diamond, aka roof. But we'll look at an inverted diamond here, half diamond really, inverted half diamond, and that threshold to beat out up and over the 221.11. That's going to be the critical force as we look at that pickup on the hourly. Congrats to anyone in the back who picked up on that specific hourly, brought that to you just for your consideration and technical assessment. That's what we're looking into now. Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the question on everyone's agenda. You know this. I want to go to the daily time frame. I want to point out the fact that we are attempting to reinforce the specific daily up and over. Okay, in addition to what we talked about yesterday, up and over the specific standard deviation. This is a critical level to be held by the bulls, is anywhere north of that top line standard deviation. What do we know is loaded with orders? The specific capital control line on the daily. You see multiple levels of engagement here. If I switch to the candle so you can see this, but I have the bars so you can see the price action. Look as we are down well above, let's say we're well above the 20 moving average, bam, into the cap line. Another approximate hit with the cap line. Now, yes, you've got the interaction up and above, but I'm just bringing up this specific capital control line because that has received a lot of attention on the daily. Note such, okay? In terms of levels of interaction, I'll just state that right now what's in play on the 5-minute the 20 moving average. Okay, capital control line has been tested again on the 15-minute, your cap line on the 15-minute. Looking at that top standard deviation on the hourly. Pay attention, the top standard deviation on the hourly is what? That's acting as a near drop-off level for the bears to try and reinforce. Well, we're still walking up the line here on a pattern that we designated earlier on and just looking for a bit of a consistent breakout. What's been trading well? What's been trading very well on Bitcoin is the following: fire and ice. You guys got that right. After big moves, you know this, after big moves, what do we have? We have frequently seen that who gets chewed up? The breakout traders. You know this, who gets chewed up? The breakout traders. Who kills it? Fire and ice. Anyone trading fire and ice or specific kernel derivative, you guys got that right. Fire and ice is just locked and loaded. It is doing great. I want to shout out to all the VIP. I wanted it to be a short stream today. I wanted to cover the specific requirements, targets, etc. You've got that in the back. And just as a reminder, VIP, etc. This is not meant for live trading. It's not. We're delayed 8 to 10 seconds on the real market. So as we look at the, let's say the technical tactics that are in play, the market tactics, trading tactics, and the technical features that we have created so that we can back test, right? So that we can take advantage of that alpha in the market. I just want to encourage you to up your trade game every single day to the extent that you can. Renew that initiative on a daily basis. If you've got a bad habit, break it. Don't trade against yourself. Without a doubt, do not trade against yourself. That's going to happen if you refuse to trade your bad habits in for good ones. Looking at this specific bull flag, you can see how we had a nice, approachable, micro target in play. It's on the hourly. It's not so micro. We'd prefer to see it, of course, on the 4 hourly or daily. We've just pushed sideways in and along that key focal feature that I designated yesterday as our specific go-to line. And what do we know? We specify the go-to line being that 20 moving average, and what happens? Well, we just grind along it. We just saw through that, literally saw through that 20 moving average. You got that right. So that is the level in play. And as you look at your specific candle wick, just note that we have a bit of a, it's going to require the candles and the actual wicks to construct your bull flag, which has stalled to the right. What do we have though on the lines? Let's just cover this real quickly. On the lines, we have this specific, if we're going to look at this again, essentially that notion of a flat top, and we'd be looking at, we can go ahead and call this, guys, you want to call this another, we would call it an inverted, a half diamond. Okay, so if we're looking on the lines, just so you have a complete picture of technically what we're looking at another inverted half diamond. That's it, okay? You know diamond patterns, diamond bottoms, diamond tops, etc. So a bit of a consolidation, to say the least, ongoing with some frustrated principles in terms of over or under the threshold. It certainly challenged us. The last thing I will bring up, aside from Solana, which is doing great today again, that's one coin that we like to, or one asset that we continually like to bring to your attention because of the volatility. It's on our go-to list in terms of just volatile, highly technically accurate opportunities in the market. We call them trade-offs, opportunities. Looking at this specific capital control line to the upside, we'd love to hit that red line, capital control line. We'd just like to hit it. You guys know that. Let me bring that back onto the mix here for the hourly. We're going to try and reinforce this move again on the capital control. Once we flip blue, bullish, we're going to be trying to reinforce any hits along that specific capital control line to the downside. So where are we at? We're at a 34,525, 34.5. 34.5 is going to be a level of resistance on that hourly. We'd like to see a candle set out, up, and over on the specific hourly. Ideally, we get a candle set up and over the specific 32.5. And to redo 34.5 rather, pardon, 34.5. Exact is 34, really 34.6 is going to be this top level on the hourly, 34,600 to be precise. Now, we ideally would like to see on the turn of an hour at 34.5, a specific candle just set right up and over this level would be ideal in terms of the tactic in play. See a candle set right up and over that bulls can just try and reinforce and engage, boom, to the upside. okay? If we can get a fresh, clean candle set in that type of an action, pay attention, be prepared to fight along with the bulls to get this price to the upside past that 34.5. This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader. Just wanted to come to you real quickly. We will be around this afternoon. Focus on your technicals, all right? In terms of great trades, I know that you've had them. I want to increasingly encourage you to finish out this quarter strong. This is the beginning of a really strong quarter. Let's make it one to remember that we look back on the entirety of next year as a level of inspiration as to look what we did in Q4 2023. That is possible. Let's get it done. This is London with Bitcoin Spike and VIP Trader.